Hello, this is poorfortrump@gmail.com. Now send us an email and get the reply, and then keep in touch with us and become a member of our new church that we're establishing. But don't misunderstand, we're the opposite of most churches. See, we have Jesus, and Jesus provides us with all our needs. And we're Americans, and we have rights. And we understand how to use those rights to advance the cause of God instead of the cause of Satan. And God's cause for you, especially if you're poor, is to get you out of poverty. And if you're not successful, to help you learn how to become successful. But now, listen, these are two issues you have to learn about. You see, the whole world, Satan has a lot of control of the whole world. And he always tries to use it to disadvantage you because you're poor. But listen, there's two phrases you want to learn about. One, they really mean the same thing. It's either mob herding, M-O-B, and then herding, like sheep and animals herd together. Mob herding. And or you could look up mob grazing or sustainable agriculture and Google it and learn about it because it's a new way recently to use land, farmland, and instead of being a farmer who's in poverty because you're a farmer, which what our country has become, the same piece of land that you use farming and you can barely make ends meet. If you use mob herding and mob grazing correctly, you'll become wealthy doing it. You'll feed the world. You'll be very successful. Very little cost involved, and the land heals itself. It's very godly. It's very biblical, but few people understand that. But we understand that. So listen, look up mob herding, mob grazing. And if you're poor and you live in the city or you live in a poor town and there's no future, you join our church. You join us. We don't want your money. We don't need any money from you. But we need you to be willing to listen to us. And if you don't agree, that's fine. Let's talk about it. But rationally listen to us, and we will show you how to do rational things that you take you and your family out of poverty, out of the cities, away from danger, because all the cities in this country are at risk of being destroyed with atomic bombs. And the best way that God can rescue the poor is to get them to move out to places where terrorism and these things, if we disperse ourselves, then we'll be less likely to be harmed by terrorists. They'll have to come, instead of one terrorist being able to blow himself up and killing 50 people, be lucky if they blow themselves up and can kill one other person, because we're spread out and we're we're not easy to be reached. But there's so many ways that you can get wealth, that you can improve. Now, if you want to get wealth because you want to use alcohol or drugs or cigarettes or do something evil, then we're not interested in participating with you. But if you want to have wealth so that you can help others, and you want to live responsible, and you want to help us go from a government that's in debt to a government that is not in debt, then that's what our goal is. Look, the United States government can't build a wall between the U.S. and Mexico. But if you're poor, we'll show you how you can go down to Texas and get a free piece of land. The government will pay for it, but you can have it. And you can do mob herding and mob grazing there. And it's easy work. You have to learn it first and understand it. You have to be willing to work. And you become very wealthy. Within 10 years, even within 2 years, you won't need any more help from the government. You'll have too much ways to make money for yourself that you won't need that money. And but we don't want to go on the TV. We're not going to write books. We're not going to find any way to make you think we're important, more important than you are, because that's not what God believes and not what we believe. Everyone's important to God. Now, unfortunately, I'm in a hospital, but I wasn't. 2 years ago, look at our videos about Poor for Trump, and we made them. But now we're in a hospital, and we're getting better. Hopefully in a month or so, we're going to do better. Right now, this is December 1st, 2017, and we're hoping that God's going to raise us up. But whether God raises us up or not, we're going to do well. We're going to prosper, and you're going to prosper. We've been solving problems. God's had me go to court and sue the government about issues where the poor aren't given the same rights and equality and treatment that the non-poor get. There's hundreds of ways that if you're poor, you don't get treated right in this government. But we're going to change that, and we poor people are going to run the government instead of the non-poor. And we'll run the government in a way that helps everybody. We won't go like the Democrats and say, we'll punish the people who are successful, take their money and give it to the people who aren't successful. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to help the government to succeed by having ourselves succeed, having you succeed. All you got to do is join us and be interested in helping and improve your life. Okay? poorfortrump@gmail.com. poorfortrump@gmail.com. Send an email there. And we're going to not just help ourselves, but all the world. Thank you.